be never ending. Tell us about it.
The show or the concept?
Well, I understand there's a bit of a love thing going on.
There's a lot of love thing going on here. Yeah, there's a lot of loving going on here. There's a lot of love, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of relationship situations going on.
Anything in particular that inspired that?
Mostly my heart, mostly my head, and the feelings of being in relationships, being of loving someone, maybe loving them too much, being not able to let go, and people not being part of your life anymore, so a metaphorical death or a physical death. So that's pretty much the mix of the show.
These pieces in particular, I was just having a look around, some of them are on walls all around the world, and I was just wondering what the ones that are on walls, how the design is related to that particular city.
Most of these are murals that have been painted around the world in the last 5 years. Not all of them, some are probably going to be murals in the future. Most of them relate to the city. When I'm going to paint a mural, I obviously have a vision of what I want to paint, a selection of images I'd like to paint around the world. And then I get off the walls and I'm like, okay, that would work really well with that location, or that wall is a great shape for this piece. And obviously I sort of think and feel how the public will interact with that piece, and then try and make it applicable to that area and location.
Right. So you've got, for example, there's the eyes with Dubai, and I understand that's something to do with the shopping and the commercialism.
Yeah, exactly. That piece was painted in a the first outdoor shopping precinct in Dubai. So I like the idea of these eyes looming down on you as you frivolously spend your money.
Shop There's Paris over there, you've got Mexico City.
Yeah, Paris is City of Romance, so that was an easy one for me to fit something into. It was a huge wall, so I needed something that was tall, obviously, so I wanted a couple kissing and embracing. I thought it was very typically how people imagine Paris, so that one was an easy one.
I heard there's going to be a wedding here.
Yeah, so the ultimate conclusion to the show, then the idea of romance, the idea of love, and the idea of loss. I'm making an installation which has got tombstones, as you can see over there. It's got a chapel, and I was like, what would be the ultimate gesture of love, ultimately? It's to marry somebody, to make a commitment of life. One would hope that's what marriage represents nowadays, but maybe not. So I got ordained, and then I put out a call to anyone that wanted to be married. And crazily, we've got a couple that are going to be married.
Yeah? There's one couple?
Yeah, there's one couple. We've got two, potentially, but one couple is very special.
Great.
So it's pretty open, we've got a couple we're going to marry.
Fantastic.
So we're kind of theming it a little bit around what they want and the body of work as well. So that's going to be, I guess, part of the installation. Their marriage will be a piece of art.
There you go. Very nice. And what's your particular take on marriage? You still believe in it?
I like the idea of it. I like the idea of committing to something for life. I don't know that we are, by our very nature, able to commit to something for life. I think certainly today's society is much harder than it used to be. People are much more disposable, I think, in general. People are seen as being much more disposable. I think ultimately people are searching for something that may be unachievable as well. And I think the idea of romance, love, life, marriage is something you have to work really hard at keeping and maintaining, and it's very hard in today's society to keep on the same path as that person. So I like it, but I feel like it might be flawed in its very structure. I still believe in it.
Yeah.
I still believe in it. I still believe in it.
Believe in it, but there's a difference between the fantasy and the reality.
Yeah.
A lot of your earlier work kind of reminds me of Punk Magazine, DIY, and Roy Lichtenstein. What's some of the music that inspired you through that, or like inspires you now?
The music that inspired me back then, as a kid growing up, I was listening to like Dead Kennedys, Southern Youth, later Mudhoney, punk, anything punk, thrash. That was really like my jam. I like the DIY mentality that came with that. I like the sort of cut-up approach to making album art. And obviously that combined with skate culture, which has a similar DIY mentality, is really what sort of infiltrated my world. I mean, that's what, instead of studying at school, I studied music and skateboarding. And one way or another, it led me to becoming an artist. It definitely wasn't through the regular education process. You
have the skateboarding and art, and as you said, the music. Like, how did you keep the skateboarding and the art going and coming from a doodling space and in an office, I believe, to the massive walls?
Well, it's a really organic process, and it wasn't something I set out to achieve. I failed at school. I barely got an actual education, you know, that you would have as what we call an education at least. It wasn't what I was doing. I was trying to teach myself and learn myself, and that was skateboarding, graffiti, and art. And from that, I managed to, by a very convoluted route, get into animation. And from animation, they got me into design, graphic design and art. And from that, I got a job in advertising. And when I was working in advertising, I was like, this isn't what I'm about to, this isn't what I imagined. You know, it's great if that's what your career path wants to be, but this isn't what I want to be. So at that point, I started to look for some form of escape. Not escape as in, I'm trying to leave the job, but just escape from the world I was in. So I started creating my own work, which was the inspirations from the things I've done in the past. I was reconnected to skateboarding, I was reconnected to graffiti, but trying to use the techniques and the mediums I was using within the advertising agency. I had this great array of equipment that was right there, and I was like, well, I could use this to make my own work, and I could use that to put up in the street. And so it became what we now call street art, but at the time there was no such thing. There was a handful of people, literally a handful of people who were doing something that was what I would call, or saw as somewhat of an evolution of graffiti, but was more akin to graffiti.
Yeah.
And then when it started called street art, I was like, oh, that sounds disgusting, it's a horrible term. And so that sort of started getting picked up, you know, but I was doing it just out of my own idleness and boredom. And people started to sort of check it and see it and be like, hey, that's cool, when we use this, you know, this part of town. And that sort of happened at the same time the internet really kicked in. So, you know, I was like, oh, okay, I'll get a website, I can have that as like my TV station, put my work on there, have people, it's open 24/7. And that's sort of, I think we were the first generation of artists that started to use the internet to sort of promote ourselves and have a portfolio of what was out there. And it just got picked up, it just sort of accelerated, and then it got to a point where I realised that spending so much time doing my own work, that my job was suffering and my work was suffering because of my job. So I was like, one thing has to go. Am I brave enough to take the leap and try and commit to my art full time? Or do I give up on my art and commit to my job mentally full time? And I just couldn't bring myself to commit to my job. I just knew that at some point I was going to have to exit that job or be made to exit that job. So I quit and focused on my art.
Nice.
So yeah, it was.
Thank God you did.
Thank God, yeah, I mean, you know, it wasn't a planned journey. It was just taking a few risks and believing in what I was doing and believing in the people who were doing it as well at the same time.
How long have you been doing this now?
20 years.
Yeah. Since you quit your job? Or like...
I quit my job and then dabbled a little bit
of
freelance work to try and pay the bills.
Yeah, of course. Album art is like an important image for a band, and like trying to portray the music and everything, following up from before. And like how the Rolling Stones had Warhol, like what kind of stuff you do? What's your experience in that?
Well, for me, I was always inspired by album art, you know, even if I didn't know who the artist was. Most of the times I didn't, I just liked what I saw and liked the music, and it just happened to accompany cool graphics or cool art. And I'm musically rubbish, you know, I'm like a brick. It's like there's no music. I know good music, I listen to a ton of music. Music's really an important part of my life because in my studio I'm playing pretty much from the moment I get into Monday I leave, there's music going, so I go through music really quickly. So I'm always listening for what's new, I'm always listening to past stuff that I was inspired by, but I can't make music. So I've always been interested in working with musicians because it's something I've always wanted to be good at and I've never been good at. And I've tried to play the guitar, I've tried to learn, and I'm just rubbish.
You discover that you find like a way to visualize the sound?
Yes.
And,
yeah, I don't really understand how music is put together, and then I realised that my mind works really visually, so I find it really hard to look at music and see how people read it. I'm like,
the band is like the people and the band members and all that, does that feed in?
Yes,
feed into the
absolutely. So, you know, when I get the opportunity to collaborate with an artist, it's a really important thing. And in terms of doing that, I guess the most relevant one right now is Blink-182. So Travis Barker was a collector, a fan of my work, and he reached out to me and said, hey, look, you want to work on a new album? I'd be interested in putting artwork to that album. Yeah, which was really exciting. You know, it's great that Travis is a fan of my work, but to have something like that being an advocate and a promoter of you by his love and interest in it. And then obviously wanting me to put my mark to his music.
Yeah,
great.
So this kind of
career. Great,
it's a
amazing career. So yeah, they asked me to do it. So yeah, of course I said yes. I mean, I was a little bit old to listen to Blink-182 to at the time. So I can't say I'm like the biggest fan, or I grew up listening to it. I'm just well aware of it and I enjoy it. So but I'm a big fan of Travis. So it was a nice day after.
Tell us about Death and Glory show. It's your first, right?
Death and Glory.
Was that it was a bit of a prominent moment for you?
Yeah.
Very exciting time.
2006. 2005. I forget when it was now. A lot of people have been like, when are you going to have a solo show? And I just didn't feel like I was ready or even knew what that would look or feel like. So I hadn't put myself into the position of agreeing to do a solo show because I just didn't quite understand what it would be. And then finally I was like, okay, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to put the show on myself. There's no gallery that I want to be represented by. And there wasn't very ready any gallery showing this genre of work at the time anyway. So it's called Death or Glory because it was literally kind of work or fire. The title was, was the answer.
That's how you're feeling about it, basically.
I put everything I had into it, and it was either going to work or I was going to have to get a job.
Right.
So everything was there.
So all the eggs are in.
Yeah, I took the risk and the chances of making it work or realising it's going to fail.
What kind of, do you feel like you've had any failures, and how have you dealt with working through that?
I mean, that show was really successful. If I look at the body of work now, it looks quite naive. There's some great ideas within it, some execution.
Oh, I don't mean that show. I know that one was successful, right. But I mean, like in your career, have there been moments where you feel like it's been harder and troubling for you, or how do you work through that?
I think the last 2 years have been pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Because I lost my studio that I had, and finding a new studio in London was really difficult. I had this dream of moving to California, but I wasn't able or willing to commit to making that dream a reality. So I was in this sort of holding place where I was like, I can't find a studio in London, but I kind of want to move to California. But I can't commit to moving to California, so I was sort of stalling really quite badly. I realise now, having found a really great studio and been back in it and to create this body of work.
In London?
Yeah, in London. Yeah. How important having a studio is to me. Because I spend more time there than I do anywhere else, so it's like my sanctuary. So having found this new studio in London, it's enabled me to be really creative and productive. So from that point of view, the last 2 years have been quite tricky, not in terms of creatively stifled or not having a creative vision, because I've been travelling painting around the world, but just not having that one place where I'm like, okay, let's make some paintings.
I feel like it's kind of your home base.
Yeah, just somewhere that you can come back to and you know that it's there. So the next evolution of that is to find somewhere in California where I can work. So I'd like to split my time. I'm already here a lot, I'd like to try and split my time more to actually be more 50-50.
The graffiti's, it's made its progress to the gallery spaces. People are commissioning stuff for their private homes. It's definitely moved off the streets. So what advice would you give to kids, little vandals running around? And where do you see the industry growing in the future? Where is it going to go from here?
I think the difference between graffiti and street art is quite vast. I think graffiti, graffiti is like a pure version of street art. There's people doing it that only want it to be vandalism, only want it to be criminal damage. They have no inclination or desire to make it art. I love graffiti. I love that aspect of it, and I've definitely been involved in that aspect of it. But when I started to make my evolution of that, it was about trying to bring more people into it rather than it's a language that only speaks to people that understand it, rather than a language that speaks to more people and brings more people in. So for me, I like the idea of graffiti being very basic and the same thing as it was in the 60s and 70s. It's the same thing as today, although evolved in style and technique. It still is in its very makeup about putting your name out there, getting your name up, trying to do it in as many places as possible. Street art for me is about an evolution, but it should keep evolving. It should go from being stickers, stencils, posters to murals, installations. For me, making work in the public domain, I'm more interested and excited about making sculpture now. I'm making and leaving them in the public domain, which I've done. I've painted a lot of murals, so that's really exciting to me. But,
it's going from the 2D to the 3D.
Moving from 2D to 3D. Yeah. And even bringing that element from the murals, which are obviously 2D, trying to make them have more of a 3D element. So for me, that's the evolution. So doing more installation sculpturally works within the public domain and also within the gallery environment. I mean, when when you put street art inside, it's not street art, it's art. So you have to make sure that when you bring it into a gallery, it holds itself up as art, and you're not trying to rely upon its the crutch, which is, oh, it's on the streets of street art. It doesn't work to me.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important. I always look at my canvases and thought they need to be able to sit alongside any canvas from any era and time, and speak the right language to the right people, and hold up in terms of quality and concept. Because it's really important, because it's the biggest art movement there has been probably in history. Globally, street art's huge, phenomenal. So there's no question of its point in time, or whether it's got a place in its history books. For sure it has.
Sure. But do you think with the whole 3D moving, and then you've got technology and the internet, like how does that all kind of relate to sort of, you know, how it is sort of taking it off the two-dimensional wall and into the 3D space, like visual VR? And,
I think there's a lot of augmented reality that can be possible within street art. I think that's definitely something I'm looking at exploring. I like the idea of animation as well. I'm looking at trying to move from 2D to 3D, and then from 3D back into 2D, but live action. Bringing characters to life, making things have an existence further than I can give them. I like people giving. I like the idea of sharing with the public. So I mean, for me, that's the whole point of street art, is bringing the public into it. So I like the idea of creating applications, or some form of application where people can apply my work to a space, albeit virtually.
Interesting.
So I mean, I think there's lots of. I think it's really important as an artist to keep on evolving and moving and trying to move with current processes. I use lots of different processes within my work. A lot of it's hand painted. Some of it's mechanical. So I just feel like you should keep on embracing technology to keep on pushing what you're doing and experimenting.
What about the hundreds t-shirt movement that's now happening?
That's really cool to do something with Bobby from Hundreds. Obviously I saw his logo years ago and thought it's right for having my wings on it and a tongue. Obviously I never reached out to him, it's not what I do, he never reached out to me, but at this point in time, he reached out to me and was like, hey, do you want to do a collaboration? Instantly I'm like, that's the collaboration, because it's so obvious, it's so right to bring the two, his iconic motif and mine, and bring them together. So we're doing a collaboration t-shirt, and hopefully it'll carry on, we'll do some more stuff with it.
Right.
So I'm really excited.
There's 150 at the opening and
that's right,
250 online.
Something like that,
Very limited.
Yeah,
get in there.
Keep the excitement up.
So, I don't know, is there anything else you want to mention that no one else has touched on?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I'll just come to my show. Come and witness someone being married in an art show.
Okay. Does that mean I'm your date to the wedding?
Yeah, you can be my date. It's a date.
Alright, deal.
Go and make a romantic gesture to someone. Go and be my other.
Okay, I like that. Alright, thank you so much.
It's a date, yeah? Saturday night.
Il mio nemico ieri, un giorno troppo grande. Il mio nemico ieri, il mio nemico ieri, il mio nemico ieri, un giorno troppo grande, perché si possa avere due volte nella vita.